Hi everybody, this is the baseball head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, the hot dog. Welcome back to the baseball head. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. I want to mention that we have memberships here. Also take super thanks. And it's a way to support the channel and all my efforts to bring you the best content, the best commentary, and a reasonable head on my shoulders. It may not seem like it, but I am a very reasonable guy, and I'm very reasonable when it comes to this team. I'll tell you what, very forgiving. Some people aren't so forgiving. You know, we've talked a lot about these clowns that complain when the Mets lose one game. Even if they lose a spring training game, they said the Mets are going to lose every game. These are supposed fans. But anyway, Mets are 18-18. Looking at the team, we're 4 more games away from the 40-game mark, which is the quarter mark of this season. And I've been saying for a long time, we want to see what the Mets are after 40 games and give an assessment. Okay? I'm not ready to do the assessment, but I am willing to talk about this article I came across from SNY, but I have a lot of concerns going into the season about this schedule that the Mets had. It was a very brutal, difficult schedule, and I think they played rather well. Considering this schedule and how poorly they played last year, and I have a very optimistic view of this group once they got through this stretch. Got to get into 4 more games. They played the Braves this weekend. They played the Phillies next week. Phillies are not going to be easy. Have they lost any games this year in Philadelphia? Doesn't seem like it. But let me read you from this article that John Harper, who talks to all these scouts, he's the only one that talks to the scouts, I got to talk to my scout that watches the Mets, That's all he cares about. That's all he talks about. But this is what he wrote. Scouts offer 5 reasons why the Mets should be taken seriously as playoff contenders. Okay? Now, I would mention this. And this is something that has been sort of an issue. A couple of things that observations. The Mets aren't getting hit as much now like they were. I don't feel the sort of nastiness from the opponent that have been hitting Mets. I mean, no, the Mets are going to get hit. The players are going to get hit. But I haven't felt it this year like I felt it the last 2 years. And I feel like that they would respond in a different way. I'm also very impressed with the manager. But we need to see more of the manager. 36 games is not enough for me to sort of give you an idea of what the manager's like. But here's some of the reasons from John Harper. The presumed return is number 1. The presumed return of Cody Sanger together with the dazzling debut of Christian Scott. Now, I have not talked much about Christian Scott. Maybe here or there. He's got great stuff. I mean, you have to be blind or even dumb to not see that he has great stuff. I mean, he was throwing pitches. His ball gets up on top of you very quickly. So one thing I noticed about his fastball, he's sneaky fast. And it's tough to be sneaky fast when you're doing 96, 97 miles per hour. And his off-speed pitches are awesome. And he doesn't walk anybody. That's a dangerous combination. He's the kind of pitcher that can lead a team to a postseason run. And this is kind of what happened in 2015, if you remember. They brought up Noah Syndergaard, and he helped lead the Mets, It convinced the Mets to be contenders and start making trades. But Cody Sanger's going to return. Christian Scott's going to start again on Saturday against the Braves. And this raises the ceiling for a starting rotation. Has been solid already, though prone to walks and a lack of length. The walks is just outrageous. It's high. Like Luis Severino, who doesn't walk anybody, but he's been walking, batters like crazy. Same thing with Sean Manaea. Got to get that down. And Jose Quintana cannot live with all these walks. He doesn't throw hard enough. They're very difficult. The most glaring flaw is the starting rotation had the highest walk total in the majors, and the catchers had the worst stealing percentage in the majors. You ain't kidding, brother. I mean, the other day when they lost that game, they'd given up 9 walks, folks, 5 stolen bases. This was on Sunday against the Rays. You cannot win, folks, if you're walking 9 batters and giving up 5 stolen bases. And how many stolen bases have they given up to third base? They haven't thrown anybody out? 15, 14, 15? Something. It's unsustainable. Number 3. The presumed return of Francisco Alvarez from his surgery for a torn thumb ligament should give the Mets a lift both offensively and defensively. I think more defensively at this point. He's great framing the ball. I'm surprised he struggled throwing runners out. Scout says this, I think they miss him in a lot of ways. He seems like an energy guy for starters. I'm not sure yet how he's going to shake out overall as a hitter, but even if he's a low average hitter, he'll hit his home runs and they miss that. And his throwing will help with the base stealing stuff. If he comes back healthy, I could see them eventually keeping Nito as the backup over Narvaez. They'd have to eat some money on Narvaez's contract, but they need the better defense behind the plate, right? I mean, Narvaez was signed with the reputation as a guy who had power, he could hit a little bit, and he was solid defensively. He's been none of those things. So that was not a good signing by Billy Epler. Thankfully, Billy is out of here, but that was not a good signing. And the word was that the Mets were looking to move him in the offseason. They weren't able to. Number 4. The expected emergence of Pete Alonso from his deep funk at the plate, together with more consistency from Lindor and the catch-up of J.D. Martinez from his late start, all figure to make the offense more productive on a day-to-day basis. Alonso might be putting too much pressure on himself because he wants a mega deal, Scout says, but I think he'll get past that. When he's not overswinging, he's got a solid approach because he'll take the ball the other way, and he can do it with power. Now, I'm going to mention this. The Mets have nobody right now that's ready to get to the majors. Jeff Williams is hurt. Drew Gilbert is hurt. Luis Angel Acuna has not played well since they brought him in that trade with the Rangers. So don't expect any help from the minor leagues. So these guys got to step it up in the middle of this lineup. So don't expect the Mets to be calling up any players, everyday players. If you see an everyday player get called up, it'll be a guy like Jose Iglesias who's hit really well and he's good, good middle infielder. But they don't have a real need for him yet, unless Jeff McNeil completely collapses the player. We're not there yet with Jeff. And number 5, this is the 5th reason. Edwin Diaz shakes off a couple of rough outings over the last week and realizes fastball was still good enough. It's down a couple of ticks from 2022. Now, the game against the Rays on Sunday, I knew that Edwin was going to be in trouble because the pitch prior to him giving up the home run to Arozarena fouled it back, and he looked like he was on that pitch. Every pitch he threw in that inning prior to the home run, he was throwing slider after slider after slider. And if you follow the game long enough, you know that when you throw too many sliders in a row, one of them's going to come up flat. And that's exactly what happened. He threw a slider there at Arozarena. He was looking for it, knew he wasn't going to get that fastball. And that was that. And that game was tied, and the Mets were going to lose the game. And of course, when he came in the game on Tuesday night, this was Edwin, on Monday night, Edwin came in and he shut the door because he was throwing his fastball more. He had conviction with this, what they talk about all the time. And he looked great. He looked like the Edwin Diaz of 2022. What's interesting about that fastball is that he's been throwing it 2-3 miles lower than what he was throwing 2 years ago. But the problem with that fastball, he's having a difficult time locating it. He's not really throwing it for strikes, consistently. He was throwing those pitches very consistently, with the slider for strikes. But if you're just throwing sliders, you're gonna throw one that's flat. But that fastball has been a very difficult pitch for him to command until Monday, when he was throwing that thing for strikes and he was throwing it past the hitters. And finally, about Carlos Mendoza. He has done a very good job so far. He's very calm demeanor. He knows how to run a game. He's not going to script the lineup like Mickey Callaway. Remember Mickey Callaway? texting those women, thinking he's gonna, get on these dates with them and have a little hey along the way. Go, we don't have that problem with Mendoza. And Mendoza didn't say he's gonna love the players like no one else has loved them. Oh, okay. Anyway, Mendoza's done a good job so far. He's a very calm influence, and he's got fight in him, which is something that we did not have last year with Buck Showalter. So, there's some really good things here. I'll give you an assessment when we get past the Phillies series of where this Mets team is. I'm very happy with what I've seen so far. So I thought they would be. I know they've been sort of inconsistent, up and down, up and down. I don't believe they're a bad team. I don't believe that. I think they're a 500 team right now. From what I've seen, I did not think that before the season. I thought they would be 4 or 5 games under 500. They've not been like that since the opening series, or the opening 5 games. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button. I thank you all for watching. And of course, we have memberships here. It's a great way to show your support for me. And I take super thanks, and we'll have some live streams coming up very soon. So thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you later.